Welcome to today's event. My name is Beverly. Myself, Louise, and Nicole will be your help in today's event. I just want to take a few minutes to remind you of what this virtual space is and give you some virtual housekeeping. Right now, we are in a broadcast or stage mode. In this mode, there are several tabs on the right side of your screen where there's a chat where you will be able to see general chat. Here you can post comments, use emojis, introduce yourself, or just say hello. The next tab is participants. In this tab, you will be able to see all of the attendees in today's event. And next to that is the Q&A tab. In here, you can submit your questions so that our speaker can answer them for you. You can also upvote the questions, and the favorite questions will go on top, and then our moderators, our speakers will then see that, and they will be able to answer those questions for you as well. There will be slides during today's presentation, and can make these slides into full screen by pressing the enlarge button in the top right of your screen. We will also be watching videos during this session. Videos autoplay on your individual device. And this can happen in a slightly different speed depending on your internet connection. Therefore, please do not worry if there is a small break between videos as we wait for everyone's device to catch up. Just a quick reminder about the networking view, the view that we were on just earlier. In this view, you were able to move freely around the tables to chat to other people. Please turn on your camera and microphone to get the most of the session. And you are able to change tables by double clicking on any of the table you would like to go. To give you just a better, much more detailed explanation on how the table mode and the networking mode works, I will just let you watch this video, which would only be a couple of minutes. So Nicole, can we just give them the video for the table mode? I hope you are able to watch the video okay. Can I just give a thumbs up if everyone's seen the video all right? There's a thumbs up emoji on the lower right side of your screen. Excellent. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, so just to continue, as we all know, virtual events come with their own unique glitches. But don't worry, there are plenty of help. There are people around, myself, Nicole, and Louise. We're here to help you throughout the event. A quick tip, if something isn't working quite right, a quick web page refresh by clicking on that circle icon top of your screen would usually sort out the issue. I will also just take you in a few steps on how you can navigate through the Interprefy platform, which we will be using for interpretation today. Let me just quickly share my screen to you. All right. Again, and I just request everyone to give me a thumbs up if you can see the slide. Thank you so much. All right. So there will be different link for different rooms. The link will be shared in the chat. Make sure to click on those links, and it will take you to Interprefy browser. When you first click, you will see the first image in the screen. You have to then choose the language which you want to listen to. And once you choose the language, the interpretation will automatically play. The next step that you need to do is then mute the remote platform, the platform where you're watching me right now. And to do that, all you need to do is go on top of your screen, right click. Let me give you a zoom in view of that. When you right click, a drop down will open, and all you need to do is click mute site. You can toggle between the platform for the audio. The original audio will be coming from this platform that you're listening in right now, and the translation will happen on the Interprefy browser. Please make sure that when you're transitioning between session, attendees need to first log out from the current Interprefy session in order to be able to open the next one. So that is very important so that you are able to hear all the translation. So that is just a quick reminder on how we can use Interprefy platform for today. I'm just going to give a few seconds. If there is any question, please type them in the general chat or in the Q&A so that I can answer them for you. And for those who have understood the instruction, please give me a quick thumbs up, and so that we can now proceed with today's event. All right, let's give it a few seconds in case someone is typing a question. Excellent. Thank you for that. Don't forget, we are here to help. So you can private message myself, Bev Jones. We also have Nicole and Louise. You can send us a private message if you have any question. If you cannot turn on your camera and microphone, please do reach out to us. All right. So it seems like there's no question right now. I hope you have a wonderful event. And let's kick off the event by watching this video. Nicole, please take it away.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, welcome to the second day of the WAPSI Forum 2022, coming to you live from the International Conference Center, Abuja, Nigeria. Good morning, wherever you are joining us from. My name is Stanley Bentu. I'm a radio and television presenter and producer. Now, it's great to have you as part of this year's event. Yesterday, we started interesting conversations on two thematic clusters for this forum. First, is on the reality that COVID-19 pandemic has hit West Africa as a sudden onset disaster and exposed long-standing susceptibilities of the ECOWAS citizens and the fragility of the security landscape in West Africa. Therefore, this necessitated the need for 4 sessions that we conversed yesterday to explore approaches and lessons that were learned from managing regional peace and security matters amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. What today, the second cluster, will be discussing digital adaptations to peace processes in the region and opportunities and limitations of technology, as well as to explore the findings and challenges identified further. Now, on this note, I would like to take you through or yield the stage for us to get some highlights of yesterday's event. Now, we are all here at the instance of ECOWAS and in the interest of peace and security in the West African sub-region. So I invite from the ECOWAS Commission, Arthur Obayiwana. Arthur, you're welcome to take the stage.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Stanley. Yes. Yeah, thank you, Stanley. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Arthur Obayiwana. I'm with the Conflict Prevention Unit, the Directorate of Political Affairs at the ECOWAS Commission. My task is a very simple one, to give a recap of what we did yesterday. There was a lot that went on yesterday. It's not going to be the straightforward one swoop recap of all that we had. Mine, therefore, is just a tip of the iceberg. We started yesterday with the presentation by the ECOWAS Commission President, Jean-Claude Cassibru. He gave us quite a lot also. And then he was talking about the fact that it has become very clear that we need innovative ideas, to get us out of the severe health challenges that we are currently experiencing. But even before he spoke, there was a whole lot that went on. We had a bountiful yesterday. There were exchanges of ideas. The bowl was really full. We saw comprehensive presentations. There were incisive analysis and robust discussions. Back to Cassibru, he was confident. He was confident that the objectives of the forum, if met, can help us get to the root causes of tensions and conflict in our region. He also said that indeed stakeholders will be aided in the task of responding more effectively to the emerging threats to peace and security in the region, taking into consideration gender concerns and the welfare of our region's most vulnerable groups. Following his submission, then came a number of goodwill messages from the ECOWAS partners, including the German embassy, the European Union delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, and then we were to have more, but unfortunately, due to technical hitches, we were unable to receive the goodwill messages from the African Union, the UN Office for West Africa and the Sahel, as well as a keynote address from the former UNOWAS representative for Africa, Dr. Ibn Chambers. Fortunately, you will be able to find these goodwill messages on the WAPSI website. Also yesterday, two important reports were launched. Again, both are available on the WAPSI website. The first of the reports is the implications of a COVID-19 pandemic in the ECOWAS region, the implications of this pandemic on the ECOWAS region. Several recommendations were made in the report, including the need for multi-sectoral approaches, the need to invest in indigenous capacities so as to better respond to future pandemics, and also the need to strengthen early warning and response systems. Now, the second report, which was leveraging technology for peace building in the region, was also launched, as I said before. This report provided details on regional consultation processes on technology and peace building. It highlighted and further elaborated on key areas for technology in peace building in West Africa, including the need to reimagine youth engagement for peace, country harmful narratives online, and also the need for digital mediation. We also had some very exciting thematic sessions yesterday, including it dwelled on youth, peace, and the social media, exploring COVID-19 as a challenge to human security and governance, country harmful narratives online, pandemics, coups, exploring priorities for the implementation, of the UN Security Council Resolution 1325. There were also some key highlights. I'll quickly go to them. As a result of the pandemic, we were told that poverty rates went up in the region, that government revenue shrunk significantly. This is seen by experts as a social turbulence inducer. Also, that health was not placed at the was not placed at the center of security, and citizens in the region had a low perception of the dangers posed by COVID-19. We were also told that relief packages meant to cushion the economic impact of COVID-19 on the vulnerable did not amount to much due to the huge gaps between those in need and the volume supplied. Because of all of this, a triple elite approach was therefore recommended. In this regard, this entails the working together of all sectors. Further, we also learned that peace builders must now take advantage of the instantaneous and ubiquitous nature of the social media to rechannel the energies of the youth towards positive ends. Also, that technology is enabling youth, young people to make impact on the online space. The realization is that with the digital technologies in their hands, they can really be converted to peace builders instead of allowing them to run riot and do whatever they like with the social media space. Importantly, it was submitted that there is always a need to identify first the opportunities and then areas of interest among the warring factions before the start of any online peace building activity. Further learning curves we saw yesterday hinged on the fact that hateful and harmful speeches are not exactly new to us. It's just that now platforms for rapid propagation have now been created. The question then is, how do we use the same platform to take back the narrative? How do we move that, what we have been doing offline into the online environment? Now, a healthy balance is also needed between social media restriction, really, and the freedom of speech. There should be more eagerness to educate rather than regulate. And then when regulation is not specific, it becomes open-ended and subject to abuse. Yeah. And going further, we also learned yesterday that there is a challenge of educating young girls in the middle of a pandemic. We saw that most girls had no access to school. They were exposed to early marriages and violence. So it was affirmed, because of this, it was affirmed by the panelists yesterday that it is important to include women in conflict resolution and decision making. As we find solutions to challenges confronting men, we should also find solutions to the challenges confronting There were so much more, but I'm afraid I'll have to stop here.
Following the Q&A, we'll have a brief networking session. Right after that, we have two side events. At 12:15, we have lessons from COVID-19 for the economy and political governance. And this is to be curated by the think tank, by the West African think tank. And this will be taking place simultaneously with a presentation of the ADB strategy for addressing fragility and building resilience in Africa between 2022 to 2026. This one will be curated by the Africa Development Bank. About 1:30, we'll have the digital mediation session happening simultaneously with responses to peace and security challenges amidst COVID-19, AU and ECOWAS responses. Finally, at about 2:40, we'll have our closing ceremony, where we'll be listening to Dr. Chukwuemeka Eze of WANEP. We also would have Dr. Oyinye Onwuka, Head of Mediation and Coordination of Regional Political Affairs Division. And we will then have a speech from General Francis Behanzin, the Commissioner of Political Affairs and Peace and Security of ECOWAS. So that's about it for today. Now we would like to move on to our first session. Now, our first
Thank
session
you, Stanley.
would be a discussion on leveraging technology for early warning and early response. This session would be facilitated by Caleb Dukuhi. And I would just like to let all of us know, you can see either one of the sessions if you would like to participate in. I think Doug will walk us through some of that. So if you want to be a part of this session, just remember that this is a session where we will be hearing from some of those tech experts as to some of the tools that can be used for peace building, conflict resolution, as far as the spirit of innovation goes. We will also have reflections from member states, which is youth groups and civil society organizations, speaking to us about their experiences concerning our topic of today, which is the implications of COVID-19 to peace and security, and also good government. So the first session, leveraging on technology for early warning, I mentioned earlier, would be facilitated by Caleb Dukuhi. Caleb is a specialist in ICT for development. His research tool for electoral violence, good governance, and conflict mitigation. On the other hand, we have Jill Yabi, who will be facilitating for the reflections of the member states. Jill is the founder of the West African think tank, WAPSI. She's an economist, former West Africa Project Director for International Crisis Group. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will now hand you over to our tech team, Doug, as we move on to the two rooms, after which we will be back here for our Q&A.
So for everyone who want to attend the sessions, you can move around the room by clicking on the top of your screen and choosing the room that you want to attend. Room 1, we are going to have leveraging technology for early warning and early response. And room 2, we are going to have the reflections from the member states. And to move around the room, all you need to do is click on top and choose the room that you want. If you have any problem or if you need any question, if you have any help on moving around room, please do send us a private message.
Much for that piece of information, Deb. So this session is going to last from 10:15 until 11:30. We also have our studio audience right here who will be joining us in conversation to enrich our report at the end of the day.